Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. It's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Coming up, we talk to NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle pilot Angelle Sampey. Conrad has This Week in Auto History to get you caught up on the stories making car news this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. I'm missing words today for some reason. I'm all amped up on that coffee I did, I guess, earlier. Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Jeff's out today. He's on a family reunion in Michigan.
Enjoying himself,
I'm sure he is, and I know that he's listening, watching. And Jeffrey, if you'd like to call in, please do. We'd love to talk to you.
Please. Call 867-5409.
5309. You missed it by one.
I'm in Beaumont. It's 409.
Beaumont. Okay. Thank you. Angelle Sampey, hi. It's good to see you. How are you? Oh, got to press. Oh, are you muted on your end?
Yes, she's muted.
You're muted. Unmute your phone.
Okay.
There you go.
There you are.
There you go. How are you?
I'm great. Can you hear me okay? Because I don't have a microphone. I'm just on my phone.
Yeah,
we can hear you great.
Yeah, and sitting out in the front porch. Are you serious? Is it not burning up there like it's burning up here?
So let me explain. So I'm not home. I am at my in-laws, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law's house on a beautiful lake, Caney Lake in Louisiana. Everybody else is still sleeping. But let me just kind of turn around right here and give you my view.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we're all jealous.
Listen, we feel so sorry for you. Not.
Yeah, so I can't move because there's no signal here. So I'm hooked to Wi-Fi, though, so I should be okay.
It looks great and sounds great. And, well, lucky you is all I can say.
Someone is cutting the grass next door, so you may hear that in a second.
That'd be okay. That's perfectly fine. So 46 career wins. I went to the NHRA website and looked up. They don't update this stuff during the season. They update it in the off season.
Yeah.
So how are you doing? I know that you're currently placed 6th in the overall lineup there at as far as points are concerned with NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle. How are things going for you?
Actually, I'm not competing this year.
What?
So I don't. Yeah, you guys didn't know that. So I was released from the team that I was with last year, and my sponsor was Mission Foods, and they were not happy that I wasn't racing, so they collected me up and put me on board with the team at Mission directly, and now I am the ambassador of the Mission Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge, and I go to all the races, and I do some pit commentary, interviewing drivers. I stand at the end of the track when the race is going on and interview the winner, and I'm having a blast. It's not racing, but I'm at the races. But I can tell you one thing: I sleep way better on Saturday night because I don't. Monday.
Well, I love that. So, like I said, so the NHRA doesn't update the dang website.
Exactly. Yeah. So I haven't been on the racetrack since November of last year.
Oh my God! Well, it's a lot safer where you are now.
It is, but I will key you in on. I do have some plans. And we'll be announcing that pretty soon.
Well, from my time, doing marketing and PR for the Valvoline team, Hot Rod Fuller, I'm sure you know about all that.
Yep.
Back in the day, I can tell you that one thing I learned about, especially drag racing, I can't speak for the others, but I have a feeling they kind of got that one thing in common. The competitiveness of these drivers is such that don't take me away from my sport. It's my thing, and there is an adrenaline rush, and there is it overcomes your spirit, your mind, your body, and everything to get out there on the track. Am I right?
Look, let me tell you, I've been doing this for 26 years. My passion for this sport is stronger today than it was the day I started. My passion for winning is stronger today than it was the day I started. I was told at the end of last year that I should retire. Those were the wrong words to tell me. So I'm taking it a step further. So I kind of wish we would have done this interview in another week or so, but you'll see what's going on pretty soon.
We can call back. Well,
Most definitely.
I think, too, what you're bringing to NHRA as a whole with the Too Fast, Too Tasty challenge is pretty interesting, because if you look back over time, quite a number of championships have been in the balance of the 2, 3, 5 point range. And now that Too Fast, Too Tasty challenge is also bringing in points to it that are happening on Saturdays in not qualifying, but Too Fast, Too Tasty challenge, but it's in the qualifying realm of the event. And now they can earn championship points with that. You've almost changed the face of what they're doing on Saturday qualifying.
Most definitely. I think Ron Capps is the one that's mentioned it pretty often, that he won his championship or one of his championships by 2 points.
Right.
So this deal could change things for several people. Justin Ashley has won it 5 times, so he's gained 15 points to go towards his championship countdown. We've had Gage Herrera, who's won it multiple times. So it's going to make a big difference. It makes a big difference for the guys on the team as well, because that money, it seems like most of these racers or teams are sharing this money with their crew guys. So that's a big deal for them. Mission Foods, Mr. Juan Gonzalez, who runs Mission, is probably one of the biggest race fans I know. His heart is huge, and he wants to do stuff for the racers themselves. And this has been a really fun event. Mission is all about fun and racing, so it's going off really well. I'm enjoying it so much. I'm so glad to be a part of it. If I hadn't had this deal, I'd be sitting at home probably in a deep depression, but I'm not. I'm at the racetrack enjoying myself, and yes, the teams and the racers themselves are loving the whole idea, and I think it's going to change the sport dramatically.
Well,
and it looks like it's going to go on. It's not going to be just this year,
And handing him that $10,000 check at the end of qualifying on Saturdays for the winners of it.
And it's funny because you ask them what's more important, the check or the points, and they'll have a different answer before the race starts than they have at the end, because everybody's so excited.
Well,
and then, they often will talk about they have enough money to go buy lots of tortillas for the whole team now. So.
There you go. One of the things that I wanted to say to you is the fact that does this new job of yours, doesn't it give you a different perspective of NHRA and drag racing, and you're exposed to so many different things now and not just focused as a driver?
It definitely has. I'm developing relationships with the teams that I didn't have before. When I was racing, I pretty much stayed to myself or inside the Pro Stock bike pits. You don't have time to get out and really hang out with anybody, except maybe after hours, which by the end of the day, you're so tired, you just want to get dinner and go back to your hotel. So I knew a lot of the racers, but I didn't really know them. I couldn't say that we were friends, we just knew each other. But now I'm becoming friends with a lot of teams, a lot of drivers, a lot of crew guys. I'm meeting fans more often because I'm able to stay. I'm completely outside of the trailer all weekend long, just hanging out, walking around, driving around. I have an awesome little Burmax Mission wrapped Burmax bike that I ride around the pits in all day long. So I'm just out and about a whole bunch more. I'm working with NHRA more. So yes, I'm seeing all sides of racing now instead of just behind the handlebars of my motorcycle. I think
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's making me a more well-rounded racer, and will develop me better for, an even longer future in the sport.
What is your take on the closure of all of these stayed in the wool kind of racetracks that are closing? And I mean, doesn't it bother you?
It's a little concerning. We're losing some really good tracks, some of my favorite places, and I've been through this. I've been in the sport for, like I said, 26 years. So this isn't anything new to me. We've lost tracks in the past, like when we lost Memphis was one of my favorite racetracks and a close one to home. But something comes up, I look at it this way. We lose drivers that drop out or can't afford to attend anymore. And you start thinking, oh, well, the class is going to die because we don't have enough racers. But then there's new blood that shows up soon. And I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen with these racetracks. I know Topeka's going away, but there's word that there's going to be another track in Kansas. So I don't think the sport is in any jeopardy by any means. I think we still have enough passion and interest with the fans and the racers themselves that we're going to keep growing. There's things planned for the future with NHRA that I know are going to make things a lot better. You know, we may be losing a couple of tracks here and there, but we're gaining popularity with the fans. And, you know, maybe we'll have some more open up in the future. Maybe we'll just have more races at the same tracks. You know, we can double up in Indy or double up somewhere else. That's my idea, my opinion. But I'm not in fear that anything's going wrong with the sport at all. I feel from what I'm seeing and hearing and feeling with the fans and the racers that everything is great.
How about the girl power that seems to be continuing to grow year after year throughout the NHRA? And you kind of at the forefront of all that.
That is definitely happening. I can remember being, you know, one of the very, very few females at the racetrack. And now it seems like we're getting close to being 50-50 with the female competitors. There's girls on the crew that, you know, there's husband and wife team owners now. So it's definitely growing. And that's awesome, and that helps the sport as well. So it's amazing to see the young girls coming in. Gianna Salinas is one of the new girls on Pro Stock Motorcycles, and to watch her grow when she first started, you know, the way she was driving then and the way she's driving now, she's doing amazing. She's beautiful. She's friendly. She's so down to earth. Her whole team is. So there's lots of that going on with these girls and these ladies behind the wheel or the handlebars. And I'm proud to know that I helped open the door to that. Of course, Shirley Muldowney was the first and will always be the woman of drag racing, but I'm just happy to be a part of it and to help it along.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. Now, are you at every race or just the motorcycle races?
I'm at all of them. The Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge doesn't happen in Gainesville, so I wasn't there because that's the first race. We don't do the four wides, but I'm at everything else until Indy. We do not do the countdown because, of course, that's where it ends and those points take over for the racers. But other than that, I'm where the cars are, where the bikes are. So that was a little different for me this year, too. I got to go to a couple of races I've never been to. I went to Epping. Of course, that was no fun. The weather was horrible, but it was finally go there. And then I went to Seattle, which they did include the bikes this year. But I'm enjoying, you know, going to all the different places. My weekends are a little shorter. I only work on Friday and Saturday, so most of the time I'll get on a plane Saturday night or early Sunday morning and head back home to my family.
You have a daughter? How old is she?
I have two daughters, actually. My biological daughter is now 12 years old, although she considers herself a teenager. And my adopted daughter is now 9, and we've been having her since she was 2.
Oh, that is absolutely awesome. Well, you know, I'm a daughter dad. I have 2 daughters, and listen, it's a wonderful time, and it unfortunately lasts too short when they're that age because right around the corner, here comes the driver's license and college, and they're off and gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are either of your daughters interested in the sport?
They both have motorcycles, and they ride around the house. My 12-year-old is extremely competitive. She's even more competitive than I am, which is pretty scary. But they aren't showing any real, you know, passion for wanting to race. I think they would if I had the time and the means to bring them out to the track and put them in a junior drag. So I know my 12-year-old says she wants to, but then she has 18 other things she wants to do at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So right now they're just all over the place, enjoying being kids. I'm not pushing them in any direction. And I definitely don't want to push them to do what I want to do because, you know, I just want them to be who they are because I'm so competitive and so in love with racing. I feel like if I even tried to push them that direction, I would be a little too forceful, so I'm holding back on that.
So in all these years that have gone by and you've been on the NHRA circuit, how many times have you been approached by four-wheel competitors, you know, Pro Stock, a Top Fuel, a Fuddy car?
Yeah, you recently tried on Antron's Top Fuel car. I saw that.
Yeah, I did. I've been warming up his car for him in qualifying runs, and that is a blast. But yes, I actually have been asked to switch to just about every vehicle you can think of for as long as I can remember. Actually, Shirley Muldowney and I worked on a deal once many, many years ago trying to put a deal together. She was going to be the team owner and I was going to be her driver, but that fell through at the last minute when our sponsor fell through. So, I've had a lot of opportunities. I even have, to this day, I have people coming up to me at the racetrack offering their sportsman cars to race on the weekend and stuff like that. So there's lots of opportunities out there for me. I have chosen one. And like I said, we will be making that announcement pretty soon.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
I'm
Well, and I
excited.
imagine all the competitors across NHRA are just thrilled to death that you brought Mission to the table with the Too Fast, Too Tasty challenge, because giving them another race in a race is what you guys do for a living.
Yep. Yeah, it's changed Saturday completely. And, a lot of times I'll ask the drivers in my interviews with them, does it change the way you drive the car or the way you feel about qualifying? Because now it's not just getting the car down the track to get an ET, it's an actual race.
Right.
And some of them will say, oh, yeah, we're going for the money, we're going for the points. And then others might say, well, I still just want to focus on qualifying. We don't want to hurt the car for tomorrow, stuff like that. But then when those lights turn green and they stomp on that loud pedal or turn the throttle on the motorcycle,
everything
let's
changes.
be safe, let's save it for tomorrow is out the window, and they are trying to win at all costs. I mean, we've seen pedal fest, we've seen it all, because when you're a racer and you have winning in your heart, that's all that matters. The money doesn't matter, the points doesn't matter. It's to be called the winner at the end of the day. That's what they care about.
That's true.
So the fans are definitely getting a treat on Saturday. Things are a lot different these days.
Yeah. Well, so when is your next event? Where are you headed to?
We are off to Bristol. I'm not Bristol. I'm sorry. We are going to Topeka, Kansas, this weekend coming, and then we'll be heading to Brainerd after that. And then I have, I think, a weekend or two off, and then our final race for the challenge will be Indy.
Well, when I was on the tour, I will tell you that Brainerd was a wake-up call for me, and I think everybody else, and everybody looked forward to it. And I didn't understand why until I experienced Saturday night in the zoo. And I'm sure that you had your time over there in the zoo as well.
Nights in the zoo. I haven't been there for a while because they did take the bikes out. So it's one reason I'm excited to be doing this, because I get to go back to the zoo and see all the crazy fun fans out there.
and bring your Mission wrapped bike through there.
Well, and not only that, but make sure that you are there for the parade as the sun starts to set. Oh my God, you are going to laugh yourself silly.
You're giving me an idea. I may have to get a golf cart loaded up with some Mission chips and tortillas and make a lap around the zoo and pass out some Mission goodies.
There you go. Angelle, it's always a great honor and a pleasure to talk to you. You're a true pro in every way, and we wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season. And so where do we find out the latest on Angelle?
I'll make sure that my beautiful PR girl, Natalie Torrance, contacts you as soon as she can.
Awesome.
Well,
we appreciate it.
We wish you well on what you have planned in the future.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me, and you guys have a blessed weekend.
You do the same. Thanks, hon. See you later.
It always
talking to you.
amazes
Great
me
interview.
to see people that are
A true pro. Because so here I've done all my research, and I see you sixth in points. Well, I'm not racing this
That was
year.
last year.
Thank you, NHRA.
no lie. I mean, I was going out looking, trying to find a vacant weekend, and I was seeing all these things and seeing what she was doing. And Natalie, her PR person, said, yeah, she is available this weekend. It's the only place I saw that she was free for a few weeks, which is true, but
I'm excited to see what she's going to announce. Now it's, we've had the tease, and I don't know, are we the ones who break that news? That she's got
Well,
this
I don't know
plan?
if it would be just us, but I will tell you that online, let's just say that it'll probably be us.
Yep. Works for us.
I got all kinds of ideas going through my head. Is she going this way? 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 All the opportunities she has. Yeah.
Is it going to be Top Fuel? Is it going to be Pro Stock? Is it going to be?
I think her options are pretty wide open.
I think that they are.
Anybody'd be thrilled to have her behind the handlebars or behind the wheel. I don't know if she's going to go back on a bike or not.
And with the owner of the company that she's working for into drag racing, yeah, baby.
Yeah. She had that big old Mission logo on the side of it. Because, she had, the last year she raced, Mission was her primary sponsor.
Yep.
And then to see that change happened in her life, and now it's, she's the spokesperson for Mission, not just a sponsored racer of Mission products. And,
it's exciting.
And the people in Brainerd better get excited because she's going to be out there passing out
In
Mission
the zoo
products.
and the parade. I love it. Let's do This Week in Auto History, and let me let my dog in because she's out there
howling.
It's hot and she wants in here. So I'm going to do that.
Dad.
So time now for This Week in Auto History.
So in 1898, Scientific American magazine carried the very first automobile advertisement for the Winton Motor Car Company of Cleveland, Ohio, and it invited readers to dispense with a horse and drive a Winton. I thought that was pretty cool, and now it's everybody's so used to seeing all the advertisements for cars. In 1900, Firestone Tire and Rubber Company was established in Akron, Ohio. Jeffrey, where are you? We're talking tires and you're not here. The 31-year-old inventor and entrepreneur Harvey S. Firestone seized on a new way of making carriage tires and began production with only 12 employees. 8 years later, Firestone was chosen as the exclusive provider of tires to the Model T. In 1941, Jeep is born. Parade magazine called it the Army's most intriguing new gadget, a tiny truck which can do practically anything. During World War I, the Army began looking for a lightweight all-terrain vehicle, but they just didn't get it, and it didn't really come out until early 1940 and 1941. Also this week, in 1977, the movie The Spy Who Loved Me, starring Roger Moore as the suave super spy James Bond, known for his love of fast cars and dangerous women, is released in theaters across America. The film featured one of the most memorable Bond cars of all time, a sleek, powerful Lotus Esprit sports car that also did double duty as a submarine. That was pretty cool car.
Yeah, it was.
And then in 2003, the last of 529,464 Volkswagen Beetles were built since World War II. It rolls off the production line in Puebla, Mexico, one of a 3,000-unit final edition run of baby blue Volkswagen Beetles. And the final one was sent to the museum in Wolfsburg, Germany, and can still be seen there today. 21.5 million Volkswagen Beetles over the life of that vehicle.
All I can say is, why did they stop building that? Why? Because they ruined it.
Oh, yeah.
They put the engine in the front. They made it something that it was never meant to be.
Well, I think the original Beetle wasn't going to pass a lot of the crash testing. That was out ahead of it. But
you know what? That easily fixed. Easily fixed.
And you got to think some of the original Volkswagens had under 100 horsepower in them.
Oh, yeah.
They were slug bugs is what everybody called them.
But now with turbocharging, you can put you a little inline 4-cylinder turbocharged motor and get up to 200 horsepower out of the thing.
You can get that kind of horsepower out of that little flat 4 that they had. There's a lot of people who took those and made some pretty impressive little drag cars.
One of my early times at Houston Raceway Park was going down there just as an observer. I was in high school, and I will tell you that I saw a Volkswagen Beetle that had about a gajillion horsepower fly down the quarter mile.
Oh, yeah.
I was shocked. I had no clue.
A well-done Beetle will shock anybody because if you can get traction, there's no weight to that car, and all the weight's in the back, which is where you want it.
Lifted the wheels off, and away it went. It was just out of there. All right, time now for some of the stories making headlines this week. Recalls. Hyundai Motor and Kia said Thursday they're recalling more than 91,000 newer vehicles in the United States because of fire risks and urged owners to park outside and away from structures pending repairs.
Not in your garage.
Don't put it in there. The recall covers 2324 Palisade, 23 Tucson, Sonata, Elantra, and Kona, and the 23 and 24 Seltos, and the 23 Kia Soul Sportage vehicles.
pretty much everything they sold.
Electronic controllers for the idle, stop, and go oil pump assembly might contain damaged electrical components that can cause the pump to overheat. Dealers will inspect and replace the electric oil pump controller as needed. No, just go ahead and replace it, okay?
Yeah,
I don't want to take the chance.
As needed.
Yeah, as needed.
Yeah. Has your car caught fire yet? No, so it's not needed.
Good answer. Yeah,
I thought so.
Not. Other recalls. Generator fuel hose may cause a gasoline leak in the Ford Transit 2020 to 2023. You've had some experiences with a Ford Transit.
And they weren't good.
They weren't good.
No.
Tell us that story.
Well,
Besides the wreck, not that.
Well, it had the EcoBoost 3.5 in it, and that engine is notorious for what's called cam phaser issues. And my cam phaser noise turned into camshaft carrier problems, so they ended up having to replace the engine in it with like 113,000 miles on it. And it was, I think, by the time it all washed out, it was over $11,000. And Ford said, because we went and asked for help, and Ford said,
we're not helping you.
It's out of warranty. Warranty expired at 60,000 miles. I said, I understand that, but you realize how many people are experiencing this problem. And then after mine, mine was never involved in it. Ford actually came out with what's called a special policy or an extended warranty on that, and would reimburse people up to 50% of their cost of replacing it. So, yeah, I was eligible to get back, $6,000 of the $11,000, but not mine because 2015 was not included in that special policy.
Not good. We got more recalls coming up in the next hour, and so we invite you to stay tuned for that. Time now for a quick break. We'll be right back. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Stay with us. Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around, and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6, or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on InWheelTime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast channel. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.